女房か。そうだ、余剰のやつ急に遠慮ものって幸せなやつだ。近頃は炉端で寝てばかりおるわ。あたはバカなりに昔は大した働き者だった。どうしてあげなバカのとこへあげな女房は来たもんだ。いつどこからともなく来よったが、おかげで幼少は懐手で大金儲けだ。おい、うんず、嘘じゃめなその布の話。ああ、ほんまだ。町に持って行けばいつも10両に売れるわ。その布、あの女房がおるっちゅうんだな。ただな、あの女房おっとるところ見ちゃならんちゅで旗屋に入るげな。そこで余興がまた正直に覗きもせんと寝てしまうと、来る朝はちゃんと折り上がっとるちょこったわ。なんせおめえ美しい布だね。それを千回りちゅうたらな。町の人がそう言うな。天竺まで言うかな。見られん珍しい布だとよ。うんず、我間に入ってえらいとこ儲けをしたんだろう。えらいことちゅうほどでもねえでよ。この野郎。けどな、もしそれがほんなもんの千羽織な、とても50両や100両の騒ぎではねえだぞ。あれ、そうかね、土台なんだね。鶴の千羽織ちゅうは。それはな、生きとる鶴の羽を千枚抜いて織り上げた織物だ。あの女房、一体どこから鶴の羽など集めてきよるんだろうな。なんだ、おいにも鶴の羽だ。やっぱりか本物か。
Episode 3. While the children's singing continues, there appear Sodo and Unsu, two business from the village. In fact, it is Unsu who brings Sodo to the dwelling of Yo-Yo. That means Sodo is a total stranger, while Unsu is known to Yo-Yo as a middleman in his clothes sales in the town. He buys the clothes from Yo-Yo and sells it to potential customers on his own. Comparing the miserable past of Yo-Yo with his happy present with Sue, Unsu feels envious about the latter. He highlights the comely nature of Sue as a woman and calls her husband Yo-Yo the luckiest man in the world to have her as his wife. Yo-Yo's carefree life after his marriage to Su appears as the object of Unsu's envy. Since she came here, he never does anything but sleep by the fireside all day long. What Unsu relates in terms of Yo-Yo's consignment of his life to inertia is evident in his lethargic mood at the opening of the play. Projecting his leftist ideology, Kinoshita ironically exposes people's tendency to get attracted to laziness and search for occupations that involve the least amount of physical and mental labor. The play is called anti-capitalist mainly because of Kinoshita's criticism of this ignoble parasitic element in the human nature, which can easily affect any person lacking in enterprise and self-esteem. How in the world could a stupid man like him get such a pretty wife? Sodo's question elicits the world view about Yo-Yo-Su relationship. From somewhere and unnoticed, she appeared like a wind. According to Unsu, there is no reference to any family connection regarding Su. Nobody knows where she has come from, but everybody knows that since her arrival, Yo-Yo has a carefree and comfortable life. Since then, that lazy fellow has been coining money without lifting a finger over. The inestimably precious cloth material known as Semba Ori that Su produces for Yo-Yo has made him famous. A foolish man by nature who has no notion of the textile market, Yo-Yo has already sold several pieces of Semba Ori for an insignificantly cheap price. In fact, Unsu has managed to bring Sodo to the hut of Yo-Yo simply because of this invaluable cloth material considered in Japanese folk culture to be of the heavenly quality. The ravenous mentality of the two mercenary men emerges in their curiosity about everything related to the production of the cloth. An opportunist by all means, Sodo has many questions. First, he wants to be confirmed about the veracity of the story of the precious cloth. In response, Unsu assures that it is so valuable and that they can sell the stuff at $10 a yard in the town. Further, Unsu relates that it is none other than Yo-Yo's wife who makes the clothes. The information Unsu divulges at this point reveals how lightly Yo-Yo seems to have been talking in public about what Su warns him to keep secret and confidential. Su's warnings against entering her weaving room, the speed at which she weaves, and the amount of time she uses for weaving a piece of cloth have all become part of the public knowledge of the town because of the garrulousness of Yo-Yo. Unsu confirms that one can see only in heaven the type of cloth material Su produces for Yo-Yo. By and by they come to the topic of business. Sodo remarks, Unsu, you must be making a pretty good profit in your deals with that cloth. The response of the latter reveals that he is not a specialist in textiles. Sodo senses the ignorance of Unsu and shouts in anger, "Curse you, you wretched thief!" Moreover, he reveals with his expert knowledge of textiles that if it is really Semba Ori, it must be worth a lot more than $100. Unsu's estimation is that a yard of Semba Ori is only $10. According to Sodo, it's the fanciest cloth you ever did see made of 1,000 feathers plucked from a live hen crane. This definition of Semba Ori flabbergasts Unsu and keeps him wondering as to how Su obtains so many feathers at a time. Taking advantage of Yo-Yo's cowardice, Sodo enters Su's weaving room without permission. Blinded by avarice, he forgets his manners. His behavior surprises even Unsu. Sodo looks at the loom and picks up some pieces of a feather fallen on the floor and recognizes them as part of a crane's feather. He confirms the truth about all that he has heard from Unsu regarding the news of Semba Ori being woven by Yoyo's wife Tsu. They cannot dwell too long on their exultation about their new discovery because Tsu appears all of a sudden. They try to apologize to her for their intrusion, but she does not seem to understand them. Affected by some gross materialistic practices in a ruthless market economy where profit making overarches all human values and endeavors, they shamelessly try to encroach upon Tsu's innocent world of love and beauty and profane her faith in humanity. Kinoshita dramatizes their crudeness and guilty conscience through their stammering and groping for words to articulate their apologies.